Hello traders and welcome to the market opening preview, December 14th, 2015 on a Monday, the beginning of our trading week, and an exciting week it should be. Traders is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Please come visit our site at fxclearing.com for your trading solutions. Traders, great to be with you on a Monday, coming to you live from Pattaya, Thailand. It is currently 20:45 on Wall Street, 8:45 a.m. in Thailand, and wow, it's going to be a crazy week, right? The big FOMC comes out in 4 days, and wow, it's just going to be a wild one. So put on your seatbelts, get ready, or turn your computers off and come back on January 4th. That would be a good idea. All right, traders, before we get started, I got some news and commentary for you. I'm going to talk about some indices, stuff like that. But let me introduce myself to you. My name is William Gilday, and I'm your moderator for the Market Opening Preview Series every single trading day before the London Open. Traders, I have to tell you that I do record this during the Asia session. So if you're hearing this or watching this in London, you're probably about 12 candlesticks on a 30-minute chart ahead of when I started recording this, all right? Just so you know where we're at. So I started trading in 2006, 2008. I retired from a wonderful career as a firefighter paramedic out of the great state of Florida in the United States. 9 days later, came to Thailand for a 3-month holiday to celebrate my retirement. And traders, I'm in my 8th year and I'm still in Thailand. Absolutely love it. Love living in Asia. There's nothing bad about it. I can't complain. I really have no complaints. It's really a great place to be. And if you're trading Forex or other instruments, the time zones are great. It's a little tough if you're trading New York because I only trade about 2.5 hours into New York because it gets close to midnight. And I need about 6 hours sleep. And that's pretty refreshing for me. And I can get a good day the next day. So, how do I trade? Well, I trade listening to fundamentals all the time. I'm always listening to fundamentals. So if you hear some noise in the background, that is my news feed that is on all day long. It's 24/7 and it's a very reasonable price. And it's just great. I've been with them since 2008. So yeah, quite fun. Really, before that, I think I started with them actually in 2007. And I've been with them a very long time. They're just great. They just do the job. They do the job, and they do it good. So I'm a technician, though, and I don't trade the numbers when I trade fundamentals. I just know when fundamentals are there. I know when they're coming out, and I'm aware of that, and that's so important. But I don't trade the numbers. In other words, I don't trade when the number comes out. I don't enter a trade. I normally wait 30 to 40 minutes, make sure everything's lined up, and away we go. And there was a guy in my live trading room years ago that used to talk about his sidecars were all online, and I sort of always kept that in my mind. That I always wanted everything lined up just right to get that trade off. You can always find reasons to get in, and you can always find reasons to get out. So that's basically how I trade. I always use price action, support, resistance. I do like Ikimoku clouds, I have to be honest with you, and I do like harmonics. Now, I'm a Fibonacci user, so if you're an avid Fibonacci user, why would you not like harmonics? Harmonics is all about fibs. The whole process of harmonics is all about fib levels. Like, why wouldn't you use a tool that we use every day, but we just don't use them in patterns? So it's really nice. And always remember that harmonics are a reversal pattern, right? So I use that a lot, and I enjoy it. All right, let's get moving. Let's get the legal stuff out of the way. Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex markets. Traders, most importantly, please do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Traders, always remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's talk about some news and commentary. Well, let's start off with the economic calendar. Well, it's a Monday, and there is very, very little data coming out today. The biggest event today, I cannot believe he's talking again, but he is, and that is EC President Draghi speaks during London lunch. So that is 1800 hours on Wall Street. So, and that'll be 6 p.m. Bangkok, Thailand time. All right. Let's take a look at the indices. The indices all red. All the markets were red. On Friday, the Dow 30 was down 1.76%. The S&P 500 was down 1.94%. The Nasdaq was down negative 2.21%. Small cap 2000 was negative 2.07%. So not a very good day on Wall Street. And if you move over to the Eurozone, they were all in the red. The DAX negative 2.44%. The FTSE 100 out of London was down negative 2.22%. The CAC 40 out of Paris was negative 1.84%. The Eurostoxx 50 out of Frankfurt was negative 1.18%. Traders, let's head on over to Asia and see how Asia's trading. Now remember, these countries are currently trading, and they are all in the red. The Nikkei 225 is negative 2.67%. The S&P ASX 200 out of Australia is negative 1.12%. The China A50 out of Shanghai is negative 0.70%. And the Hang Seng out of Hong Kong is negative 2.06%. And our good friends out of Seoul, the Kospi is currently negative 1.05%. So the indices are looking pretty good, pretty bad, and who knows what's going to happen this week and what's going to happen. Like I said, as far as news data goes, the only news data we have is ECB President Draghi is speaking. There's a bunch of not really a bunch, there's only like 4 or 5 low-impact data events coming out. So not a lot to worry about as far as news events entering into trading today. My suggestion, folks, just go to a demo account. This week is going to be absolutely crazy. There is nothing good going to come out of this week other than hopefully they raise interest rates on Thursday from the FOMC. That is going to be at 1400 hours on Thursday on Wall Street. That is 2 a.m. in Thailand, so I will not be in front of my charts. And that's going to go on without me. And really, I think it's priced in. I think we're going to see a knee-jerk reaction. And to tell you the truth, I think 2 days later, everything will be back to normal, and nobody will care one bit about this 0.25 basis points that they're looking to raise. It is just like, I can't believe they made such a big deal of it. Listen, there's always something that's going to get out there, right? There's always something that's going to cause conversation. So, you know, we've been talking about this FOMC now for over a year that they're going to raise rates. So let's get it done. Let's get it over with, and we'll go to the next issue. What is it going to be? Who knows? We could go back to Greece for all we know. We could go back to, you know, wherever, whatever, whoever. Let's do something else. But let's get this FOMC out of the way. All right, traders, let's get to the charts. We did have a couple of pairs on Friday that actually did pretty well, believe it or not. I was quite surprised. So let's take a look at the euro dollar. Euro dollar still in this range, folks. I mean, I know we're seeing some big spike candles there, but you know, this is still a range. There's nothing really big here. Our trade plan didn't work because of those 2 big blue candles. And what came out on Friday? Something came out on Friday, and I think that's what brought that up. And of course, now you can see we're in this range. However, the good news is we're below resistance of the daily pivot point. I'm looking for 2 bearish candlestick patterns. I'm going to enter this at 1.0965, and we're going to get out at 1.0924. And what are we going to use? A demo account. Why? Because this week is going to be crazy, right? Absolutely crazy. Everybody who can speak is going to speak. Everybody's going to be, all the gurus are going to get out there and say their piece. You know, it's just, it's you know, they're all going to say the same thing, folks. Some are going to be for it, some are going to be against the FOMC, and it's going to be the same rhetoric, you know, for the whole week, and just be ready for it. And the best way to be ready for it is don't trade it, because it's chaotic. And Remember, folks, I'm telling you, the big hedge funders and the big money, they're gone for Christmas and New Year's. They're gone. They're history. They're done. Their books have been closed since probably December 5th. And they don't care what happens with FOMC because it doesn't affect them. So, well, it does affect them because they trade stocks, of course, but it's not going to affect them because this 0.25 basis points has been priced in for a long time. Okay? So just keep that in the back of your mind. Wow, we're 10 minutes already. All right, let's get over to the pound dollar. I'm sorry. What happened to my pound dollar? Well, this is the pound dollar. I know it is for sure. So, yeah, here we are in a range. We're below the 200. Again, 2 candlesticks below. Let's get out of this. The 200 exponential moving average, 1.5107. We're going to get out. Listen, this is a nice trade if this works, folks. This is a nice 60 pip trade here, right? Got some humps though. Look, you got some price action here at the S1 pivot. You got a support pivot here. You're going to get a bump here. And then you're going to get where you want to take profit at about the 200. Even the support pivot would be fine to get out at. But this is looking pretty good. I mean, this pound dollar is looking pretty decent to trade. So, we're bearish on the pound dollar, folks. I am bearish. Bearish, bearish, bearish. I wish I was exposed to the dollar and like 100 pips in profit, because I would cut that in half and I would go into this FOMC having some exposure just in case the market reacts positively to this rate hike, and this can dump 100 pips, and it could also come back 100 pips like in like 3 minutes later. So you're gonna have to be quick on the trigger, but a lot can happen. But unfortunately, I'm not in that situation. All my positions are closed. All my positions are closed, and I will not put a live position on except scalping. Scalping. 10 pips, 12 pips, in and out. Done. Finished. See you later. Have a nice day. Now, how are you going to scalp? Folks, if you don't know how to read candlestick patterns, don't even think about it. Scalping is all about reading price action and candlestick patterns. You've got to realize that that is an indecision candle, right? And you've got to realize that these are weak candles. You've got to realize this was a bullish candle. This is a weak candle, big wick, right? Small, tiny little candle. What are you expecting? Continuation to the downside. This is a perfect scalp, right? Scalping. So important. So important. But you got to know how and what to look for. And you need to know candlestick patterns. Well, you should know it anyhow if you're trading Forex, right? All right, let's head over to the Aussie. What's going on with the Aussie? Beautiful trade we had on the Aussie dollar. If you took my trade plan on Friday, you did very well. This trade just worked out absolutely beautifully, and was just a gem. Just a gem. So I'm looking. I put a fib on here, and I'm just looking for this to come back to the 23.6 fib. We'll try to get in at 0.7188 with a bearish candlestick formation. Listen, if this goes up to the 38.2 or even the 50%, sell it from there. Don't worry about it. If it gets up to the 200 and you can sell it, and you say you're in the middle of, you're 90 minutes into London and you get a bearish candlestick pattern, sell it, right? There's plenty of opportunities. I'm just giving you a short intraday trade plan where you can get in and get out, right? This is only like a 28, 30 pip trade here. This is not a lot of pips here. So I'd rather it pull back to the 38.2. I'd rather it pull back to the 50%. So we'll just have to see what happens. And with no catalyst to move the Aussie, that means this is a technical trade, and that's a good thing. Wow, 14 minutes already. Okay, Euro Aussie did not work. What did I tell you about the Euro Aussie on Friday? When it gets in its trending mode, it gets in its trending mode. And what do we see here? This is in its trending mode to the upside. This does this all the time. I love trading this pair, because once you've established that it is bullish, right, on a 30-minute chart, that's great. However, if you go to a daily chart, it's very bearish. This pair is bearish, right? However, look at this big red candle. I'm assuming this was dated Friday, and like I said, I went out for dinner on Friday, and I turned my computers on very early on Friday. So, I gathered this was news, and, away she goes. Here's your blue candle, right? Later in New York, boom, 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 boom. Up you come, you wake up, or really it's Sunday evening on Wall Street. It's currently 2100 hours, 9 p.m. And, you're out of the trade. You get out, right? You made some nice pips. What are we going to do today? We're going to just wait for this to break this trend line. I'm not even looking for the retest. Give me a engulfing, strong, bearish candle, and on the second candle, I will take it down at 52.77. I'm going to wait for it to get down at 51.02. That's a 75 pip trade down to the 200 exponential moving average. We will get a bounce at the daily pivot point. I don't think it's going to be a big bounce. This is pretty small here. There's not a lot left to the chart. So I think this will get right through it, and we'll just continue on down. At a minimum, it's going to come to the mean area, and that's at 51.25. And if you want to jump out there, man, that's okay, right? Protect yourself. Don't let a winning trade turning into a losing trade. I go into a lot of chat rooms, and I go into chat rooms because I learn stuff. I learn stuff from other traders. And I'm no guru. I haven't written any books, and CNBC hasn't called me to come talk on their show. So I'm not a guru. I'm just like you. I trade just like you do. And so I go into a lot of chat rooms, and I hear these moderators. They're up 100 pips, and then all of a sudden, they're stopped out. What? If I'm up 100 pips, folks, at least 50% of that is put back in my bank, right? I am not going to lose 100 pips. Well, a lot of these people are position traders. So they keep trades on for 3, 4, 5 days, a week, 2 weeks, right? Yeah, data came out, Draghi, and slammed them, right? Nobody expected Draghi's negative statements to cause the euro to go up 100 pips. And a lot of people got whacked on that, and I'm sure a lot of people lost their accounts on that trade. Okay? Me, I didn't even trade it. I watched it, didn't trade it. All right, let's go to the euro-yen. Euro-yen worked out beautifully on Friday. If you took my trade plan, you did very well. And plus some. Oh, there's my news guy. Finally decided to talk. That's how slow it is. Now, I've been talking now for 18 minutes, and this guy just started talking, and I haven't heard from him for like an hour. So there's no data today, folks. Very quiet on the data front. So we're looking for this to come back up to the daily pivot point. Will it? Not sure, my friends. Really not sure if this is going to come back all the way to the daily pivot point. I would like to see it get as close as possible. Get a bearish candlestick. Let's get in this at about 132.95, and we'll get into that. We'll get out of it at 132.48. Not a lot of pips, only a 45 pip trade, but we need to pull back. And again, I know you're all doing it. It's on a demo account. Let's take a look at the New Zealand dollar. The New Zealand dollar, believe it or not, worked on Friday. The trade actually worked and actually went past our take profit area. Unfortunately, I don't keep the old data on the charts, so this is all new. Again, we want this to pull back up to the daily pivot point, which the New Zealand is very good about. It's very good about heading back up to and giving a nice pullback. So we might get a nice pullback up here. Might not get right to the daily pivot point, but if we get a pullback, jump in the trade, and we want to take it down to the 200 exponential moving average. And of course, remember, as I always said, make sure somewhere, and I hope you're trading with at least, at a minimum, if you're trading on a laptop, you have another screen, a second screen, because you want to be able to flip up that dollar screen. You can shrink it, but get that dollar up and see what the dollar is doing before you enter these dollar trades. Really, any trade, you should see where the dollar is at. Okay? Traders, that wraps up our 6 currency pairs, and I spoke a lot today because I really want to push on what's going on. And like I said, I will not be trading live until January 4th when we come back after the holiday season. Traders, on behalf of myself, William Gilda, and our great friends at FXCL Excellence in Trades, I want to thank you for joining me on this Monday. Looking forward to a great trading week and being with you. Traders, always remember to trade smart and not hard. And traders, catch you next time. Take care now. Bye-bye.